I cannot believe what we just witnessed from Ivan Demidov and the rest of the Habs prospects in their first game of the prospect showdown versus the Winnipeg Jets. Nothing was left disappointed except for the final result. But Ivan Demidov, Florian Xhekaj, David Reinbacher, Oliver Kappen, and Jacob Fowler literally did everything that you could have possibly wanted, including nasty dekes, nasty goals, some incredible saves, so many things to love about this game. And if you even had a single question about the Habs' future, this should quell all of the concerns. We get to dive into everything that happened in this game, and despite the loss, how this has me more hyped for the Habs than I think I have been in a long time. All that coming up on this episode, and there's so many things I want to get into, because obviously we want to get into Demigod, our boy Ivan Demidov, the reactions that we had from Lane Hutson, Cayden, Guhle, Slaf up in the booth, among other guys. But you know, there's so many guys I want to talk about. I mean, let's just start with the lineups, because it was a cool game to see a lot of different guys playing different positions. And what I love to see, especially, again, we'll get to the top guys in a moment, Filip Mesar playing a lot of center. I thought he really impressed me tonight. Engstrom and Reinbacher, we knew this was something that was coming, and hey, they did not disappoint either. Reinbacher was so good. Fowler and Vekvanig's in net, and I know a lot of people are going to want to crap on Vekvanig's for letting in 4 goals on not very many shots, while Fowler got through the first half of the game without letting in a single goal with some great saves. Sure, but guess what? Fowler's the future. You know what? You can't really solely put this loss on Vekvanig's. Yeah, it hurts, but whatever. There's so many guys here. Owen Protz laid an absolutely bone-crushing hit. I wish I could have all these videos. There's so many things I want to show. Owen Protz showed up tonight and showed why he had that bill of being the most violent player on the ice at any time. That was part of his scouting report. If you remember when we drafted him, the Brantford Bulldogs just seemed to keep putting out these big guys who loved to hit. Florian, Arber, and now Owen Protz all coming through the Habs organization. He was so good to watch tonight. But again, I look up front, there's a lot of guys that made their mark. Tyler Thorpe, yeah, he got some penalties. He loved to get into the dirty stuff, and he was big. He laid some hits, had some great shots, some great rushes, and what honestly took me by surprise with Thorpe, and maybe it shouldn't have taken me by surprise because we saw a lot of this last year, but his speed, like his shot is great. He's 6'5", 230, but his speed was beyond impressive. Playing on that line with Beck and Rohrer, these guys just thought the game very well, and Thorpe insulated them with a bit of physicality, while Owen, Beck, and Vincent Rohrer were playing a nice little skill game. I mean, again, in the bottom 6, there's not a whole lot to love or to hate. Like, I didn't love the fourth line. I didn't expect any of them to blow my socks off, and they didn't, but they did their job. Mesar, I thought, played better than a third line center tonight, which is what I was really impressed by. But again, why wait? Let's get into these top guys, and we'll get into Demidov in a bit. David Reinbacher, I mean, you know, we've been showing this clip for ages. Look at how smooth he was. Smooth is the one word I would use to describe him, and even Adam Engstrom, both of them tonight. But David Reinbacher, my goodness, what a clinic. This guy looked just like we saw last year, NHL ready. Like, everything he did felt like he was a step ahead of the defense. And, well, I guess the offense. He was a step ahead of whoever was near him. And Ivan Demidov was 2 steps ahead, which, again, we'll get to him in just a moment. But Reinbacher showed in this game that he might very well take one of these defense spots out of camp, because like right now, you know, we have kind of 5 guys that are pretty solidified in our decor, and that being Guhle, Hutson, Matheson, Dobson, and Carrier, and then you have Xhekaj and Struble on the outside looking maybe fighting for that 6th spot. And you, like we've been saying for a while, you should add Reinbacher and even to some extent Engstrom to that list. But Reinbacher beyond impressed me tonight. I mean, we'll roll some of the clips because, like, what he did on this power play goal where Demidov sends it over to Kaiden was unreal. But, like, you can just watch these clips while I'm talking about Reinbacher, because I just love watching Ivan Demidov. We'll get to him in a minute. But Reinbacher was so smooth. So many smart plays with the puck. He didn't make any mistakes. He was fast. He was covering the defense. Right here, look at this. Take it one step, pass, take a nice reception. And, of course, that Demidov pass into the goal was amazing. A fully healthy season's all we need from Reinbacher. This dude will be playing games for the Habs before you know it. But the big story tonight, of course, was that first line. Florian Xhekaj, Oliver Kappen, and Ivan Demidov. And Florian Xhekaj, what I love to see tonight is that him and Demidov had a lot of chemistry, right? Like, this is one thing we've been saying is, like, you just find the right fit alongside a guy like Ivan Demidov, and that's kind of all you need. Like, you don't need the most skilled goal scorer in the world to go next to him, though Florian Xhekaj definitely did his fair share of goal scoring last year. You just need someone that fits that play style, that thinks at the same speed as Ivan Demidov, and surprisingly, maybe not, but Florian Xhekaj was right there with him every step of the way. There were very few moments in this game where it felt like they weren't on the same page. And that is a very interesting thing, because last year when we saw Demidov even come onto the team, he was thinking 3 steps ahead from the first moment he set foot on the ice. But another guy that did that was Hutson last year. It took his teammates a little while to get used to his playmaking style, his ability to make these crazy plays. And once they did, hey, it started to work out for Hutson and getting more points. But Florian was right there with Ivan Demidov the whole way this game. Of course, getting that first goal of the night, which you'll see here in a minute. Florian was out there with Ivan Demidov playing some amazing, amazing hockey. And I really love what I saw from him. And there's a lot of people saying, like, this guy might just take one of these forward spots. And honestly, like, it wouldn't completely shock me if that was the case. Again, there's some, right here, here's the goal. Ivan Demidov dekes in and Florian just crashed in the net. Florian was in front of the net the whole night, like the entire time. He probably tipped 3 or 4 shots right onto the goalie, and credit to the Jets goalie, he was really, really good. But yeah, like Florian Xhekaj has a shot to steal one of these last forward spots. Is it possible he takes a spot over Kaiden, over Beck, over even like a Joe Veleno, and like takes that 13th forward spot over Sammy Blais, the NHL veteran? I think so. I think it's possible. For what he's brought, his ability to play with skilled players plus his physical aspect is really interesting combo when you're looking at team construction. So love what I saw from him. But I mean, of course, the star today is Ivan Demidov. I just want to say, like, it looked like he was head and shoulders above everyone by like not more than a country mile. Like, I don't even know, like a country 5K, a country 10K, like a country freaking like country size. Like, he was just so much better than everyone on the ice. It wasn't even close. He made it look like child's play. That play to chip it over the stick into the deke, into the goal, was one of the craziest things we saw. Of course, yeah, it sucked that they scored a minute later, but this deke here, going into this play down here on the board where he sends a guy flying face first into the backboard, like, it just ridiculous when you watch these plays. This is a season's worth of dekes and highlights for Ivan Demidov, and it happened in one game. Yes, is it a rookie showcase kind of prospect showdown? Yeah, of course it is. But like, when you're this much head and shoulders above every single other player that you are playing against, this just, like, remember, a lot of these guys in these games are going to go on to have successful NHL careers. Not all of them, but a good number of them. And Ivan Demidov was the best, and it was not even close. There are some highly touted prospects here. Braden Yeager, Kevin He was good, and the Jets had a few other guys who had really, really good games tonight. But it was Ivan Demidov that stood out the most among everyone, simply for his pure skill and his ability to think the game not 1 step ahead like some people, but 2, even 3 steps ahead. Like that power play goal where he receives the pass from Reinbacher, immediately a one-time assist over to Oliver Kapanen. There was a few times tonight where Demidov made a pass and the person wasn't quite ready for it, or they were, but they couldn't receive it cleanly. And I just wonder, like, what if that's Patrik Laine? What if that's Nick Suzuki, Cole Caufield, Juraj Slafkovsky, whoever on the team receiving that pass? That's going in the back of the net. Everything he did tonight was insane, like beyond insane. And his defensive game, while, yeah, you know, it's not the thing that stands out the most, he had a couple of reasonable plays in the defensive end. I will say Florian Xhekaj and Filip Mesar each had a handful of really nice defensive plays, some nice stick lifts and poke checks. Florian, honestly, like, his two-way game was ridiculous. Like, I loved what I saw from him tonight. Kapanen was solid, but Ivan Demidov, I mean, look, this guy is an absolute menace. This pick is going to go down as one of the best picks of the last number of years. 5th overall. I'm so excited to see what he can do this season. I know you guys are too. These highlights are just beyond ridiculous. And if you watch the game, every single time he was on the ice, you knew something special was coming. So leave some love for Ivan Demidov, Florian Xhekaj, Reinbacher, even Jacob Fowler, who let in 0 goals, had some great saves. Let us know your thoughts on all of that down below, because that'll do it for this episode of Habs Digest. Boy, am I ever excited. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, subscribe. No post-game video coming tomorrow because I will be there. And hey, I hope to see some of you guys around. But in the meantime, take care, subscribe to the channel. I've been your host, Josh Gosse. I'll catch you in the next one.